The chili banana caper once upon a time, in a land covered in a thick, glittery blanket of snow, lived our favorite yellow friends, the Minions. Kevin, Stuart, and Bob were bundled up in tiny blue snowsuits, their goggles fogged up from their excited breaths. They had a very important mission: to find the legendary frosty banana of Mount Freeze. Legend said it was the sweetest, most delicious banana in the entire world. Kevin, being the leader, held a crumpled map, pointing a gloved finger towards a giant, snowy peak. But wait, what was that strange noise? A low rumble echoed through the valley, making the snow on the trees tremble. Was it just their tummies rumbling? Or something much, much bigger? Bob, holding his teddy bear, Tim, tight, pointed a shaky finger. Up on the mountain, two glowing red eyes blinked open in the shadows of a cave. The Minions. What kind of creature lived on Mount Freeze? Stuart, ever the cool one? Tried to play it off strumming an imaginary ukulele, but even his tune sounded a little wobbly. Suddenly, a giant snowball, bigger than Gru's car, started rolling down the mountain right towards them. Bellow, Kevin yelled, which in Minion means, "Run for it!" They tumbled and rolled, a blur of yellow and blue as the snowball got closer and closer. Was this the end of their banana adventure? Just in the nick of time, they dove behind a giant icicle. The snowball zoomed past with a mighty whoosh, crashing into a grove of pine trees and covering them in a puff of white. They were safe, but their map, it was gone, snatched by the wind from Kevin's hand. How would they find the frosty banana now? Bob sniffled, a tiny tear freezing on his cheek. But Stuart had an idea. He pulled out a pair of binoculars he had cleverly hidden in his snowsuit. He scanned the mountainside, looking for any clue. And then he saw it. Not the map, but a trail of sparkling, golden footprints in the snow. Who could have made these shiny tracks? They were too small for a Yeti and too sparkly for a polar bear. Curiosity got the better of them. Forgetting their fear, they decided to follow the mysterious trail. The footprints led them up the mountain, winding through icy tunnels and over slippery ledges. The trail ended abruptly at the mouth of a dark cave. The same cave where they'd seen the glowing red eyes. Stuart gulped. Kevin bravely took a step forward, peering into the darkness. Inside, they could hear a strange sound, a soft, rhythmic crunching. What could be making that noise? They tiptoed inside, their little snow boots making soft crunching sounds of their own. The cave was filled with glittering ice crystals that shimmered like diamonds. In the center of the cave, sitting on a throne made of pure ice, was a tiny creature covered in fluffy white fur. It was a snow gremlin! And what was it eating? The snow gremlin was nibbling on bananas. Piles and piles of them. But these weren't just any bananas. They were gasped. They had found the treasure, but the gremlin looked up, and its cute little face turned into a grumpy frown. It let out a tiny, high-pitched screech. It turns out, the snow gremlin didn't like to share. It jumped off its throne and started throwing mushy, half-eaten bananas at them. "Bapples!" Stuart shrieked, dodging a flying banana peel. It was a full-on banana blizzard inside the cave. How could they get the frosty banana without getting covered in mush? Bob had an idea. He took a deep breath and started to sing. He sang a sweet, gentle lullaby, the same one he sang to his teddy bear. "Tim!" The angry little gremlin stopped in its tracks. Its grumpy face softened, and its big red eyes started to look sleepy. It yawned a great big yawn. The snow gremlin curled up on a pile of banana peels and fell fast asleep, snoring softly. The coast was clear. Quietly, the Minions tiptoed over to the ice throne. And there it was, sitting on the very top, glowing with a magical, frosty light. The one and only frosty banana. It was even more beautiful than they had imagined. Kevin carefully reached out and plucked it from the throne. Success! They held the legendary banana in their hands. They couldn't wait to taste it. But as they turned to leave, they heard a loud crack. The ice throne was starting to break. What was happening? The entire cave began to shake. The gremlin's throne was actually a giant plug of ice holding back a frozen river. Water started to spray from the cracks. They had to get out of there, and fast. With a frosty banana held high, they scrambled for the exit as the cave started to flood behind them. They burst out of the cave just as a torrent of icy water rushed out, creating a brand new slide down the mountain. They shouted, surfing the wave of water all the way down. They slid past the trees, over the bumps, and landed safely in a soft pile of snow at the bottom, laughing all the way. They were cold, they were wet, but they had done it. They had the frosty banana. Kevin carefully peeled it. It sparkled in the sunlight. He broke it into 3 perfect pieces. One for him, one for Stuart, and one for Bob. They all took a bite at the same time. It was ... amazing. It tasted like banana and ice cream and sunshine all at once. It was the most delicious thing they had ever eaten. As they sat there, happily munching, they saw the little snow gremlin pop its head out of the cave, holding their lost map. It didn't look grumpy anymore. It waved a tiny paw. Maybe it just needed a friend? Bob waved back with a banana-filled smile. It was the best winter adventure ever. Thank you for watching our story. If you love the Minions Chili Adventure, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more fun stories. See you next time.